Hello there everyone, Chris Roma here, aka Roma Aquatics. Today I'm going to make about 2.5 gallons of SEMO, saline shrimp effective microorganisms as shrimp food. The ingredients are pretty simple. You just need some pure RO water, some Mosura BT9, this is 9 different types of bacteria. Mosura Richwater, this is a kind of powder that makes the water nice for the shrimp. It also is food for the shrimp, or for the bacteria and for the shrimp. And this is powdered sugar. You could use normal sugar. I use powdered sugar because it's smaller particles and it dissolves in the water faster. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour about 2.5 gallons of water into my fermenter here. I got this on Amazon. It was fairly cheap. It's made for brewing beer or wine, but it works good for SEMO as well. It's measured out here. So we have our measurements of, what do we got here? 10.5 quarts or 2.5 gallons. And then we have 8 quarts and 2 gallons here. And so on and so forth. This came with the little air bubbler thing to bubble, let it brew and bubble and boil. So I'm gonna go ahead. I don't think I'm gonna be able to lift this jug and pour the water in there while holding the camera, but basically I'm gonna do that and we'll be right back. I went ahead and I poured not the full 2.5 gallons in, about half of it, and now I'm just going to go ahead and put our ingredients in. So we have 1 cup of sugar is what I'm going to use for this batch. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump that sugar in there, and then I'm just going to use a full pack of BT9, which I already opened and took the spoon out and took the little moisture absorber thing out to make this easier for myself to pour in here. So I'm just going to pour the full package of that in there. Make sure I get all that good stuff. And then same thing with the Richwater. I'm just going to add the full package. Cool. And the reason I didn't pour all the water in there at first is I knew pouring more water in now would make it easier to stir. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the remainder of the water and fill it up to that 2.5 gallon point. Filled that baby up. I have my sterilized aquascaping. Just going to use that and give it a stir. Basically that's going to be it. That's all there is to it. Now we're just going to wait, cap it up and wait a little bit. We're going to give it a little bit of a stir or shake. This fermenter I like because I could basically put the cover on it and then just turn it upside down, just like just give it a little upside down and back and forth just to stir it up just a little bit every day, but not too much. And then that's about it. So put the cover on. And then just need a little bit of water in that airlock there. So let's see if I could. Can I do this? This is gonna be so. It's kind of funny. Let's see if I can do this without spilling any. This is harder than it looks. Okay, I'd say that's about good. Water's on that min and max line there. And what all this does is it prevents, it lets the CO2 out without pressurizing. So, now we have our fermenter. We gotta wait, so this is gonna start bubbling and producing CO2 and bubbling. And the word out on the street is we don't know if it's good for oxygen to get in here or bad for oxygen to get in here. I know that it's bad for it to be pressurized, which is why I'm using this to let the, see, as it pressurizes, it lets basically bubbles out like that pretty much. But I'm using that so it won't pressurize so the bacteria could breed the best. But I still don't know if it'd be better to open it up and give it a stir and let oxygen in here. Basically because we don't know what bacteria are in BT9. We don't know if they're aerobic or anaerobic, so we don't know if oxygen would be good or bad for them. Please let us know if you know in the comments. But I think that's it for this one, guys. I'll do an update video as it when it starts bubbling. I'll show you guys when it bubbling, and then it's basically done once it stops bubbling. But obviously, I use a lot of this stuff for my tanks, so I can show you the bottles that I'll put it in after. To the shrimp room. So basically, I fill up little bottles like this with these kind of water bottle tops so that I can just open it up, and then into the tank, just a few drops, 1 or 2 drops per 10 gallons is how I roll with it. And it generally works out really, really well. My survival rate's been fairly good. As you can see, there's babies in a lot of these tanks. So, a very good survival rate on a lot of them. A bunch of babies in the Blue Bolt tank. Sorry about the focus. There's a bunch of babies in the Pure Redline tank. Lots of babies everywhere. But that's it for this one, guys. I hope you like it. I'll give you updates as the SEMO brews. Later, all.